Have you ever watched someone defend a terrible decision, even when the evidence against them was overwhelming? Have you ever wondered why people stay in toxic relationships, support dishonest people, keep losing money in bad investments, or continue destructive habits despite knowing better? At first glance, it looks irrational. It looks stupid. It looks like they are ignoring reality. But there is a powerful psychological force operating beneath the surface. A force so strong that it can make intelligent people reject facts, defend lies, and sabotage their own lives. That force is called cognitive dissonance. And once you understand it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. Not just in other people, in yourself. Because cognitive dissonance is one of the most powerful psychological mechanisms controlling human behavior. And most people don't even know it's happening. Let's start with a simple example. Imagine someone who believes they are a smart person. Now imagine that same person makes a terrible financial decision and loses a huge amount of money. Suddenly, two conflicting beliefs collide. The first belief says, "I am smart." The second reality says, "I made a stupid decision." Those two ideas cannot comfortably exist together. The brain experiences psychological discomfort, stress, mental tension, inner conflict. This discomfort is cognitive dissonance. And here's where things become interesting. Most people do not eliminate the discomfort by admitting they were wrong. Instead, they eliminate the discomfort by changing the story. They tell themselves, "The market was manipulated. Nobody could have predicted this. It wasn't my fault." Maybe those explanations are partially true, maybe they're not. But notice what happened. Instead of changing their self-image, they changed their interpretation of reality. The ego survives, the discomfort disappears, and the lesson is never learned. This is why cognitive dissonance is so dangerous. It protects your feelings while damaging your future. Most people think they want the truth, but what they actually want is emotional comfort. And when truth and comfort collide, comfort often wins. Now let's talk about relationships. This is where cognitive dissonance becomes incredibly destructive. Imagine a woman stays with a man who constantly lies, manipulates, and disrespects her. Or imagine a man stays with a woman who repeatedly cheats, uses him, and destroys his self-respect. Friends can see the problem immediately. Everyone around them knows the relationship is toxic. But the person inside the relationship refuses to see it. Why? Because admitting the truth creates unbearable dissonance. Think about it. If they admit the relationship is toxic, they must also admit they invested years of their life into the wrong person. They must admit they ignored warning signs. They must admit their judgment was flawed. That hurts. So instead, they convince themselves, "He'll change. She didn't mean it. It's not that bad." Nobody is perfect. Again, notice the pattern. Reality is adjusted to protect the ego. The truth becomes negotiable. The story becomes more important than the facts, and people remain trapped. This is one reason toxic relationships often last far longer than healthy people can understand. The relationship survives because cognitive dissonance keeps rewriting reality. But here's where it gets worse. The more someone invests in something, the harder it becomes to walk away. Psychologists call this escalation of commitment. The more time, money, energy, and emotion invested, the stronger the need to justify the investment. Imagine losing $100 in a bad investment. Painful. Now imagine losing $100,000. Which person is more likely to admit they were wrong? Ironically, often the person who lost less. The person who lost more has more psychological pain to protect themselves from. The stakes are higher. The ego has more to lose. So they double down. And this happens everywhere. Bad businesses, failed marriages, unhealthy friendships, political beliefs, religious beliefs, career choices. People often become more committed to bad decisions, precisely because those decisions have already cost them so much. Most people think evidence changes minds. Reality says otherwise. Evidence often strengthens existing beliefs. Why? Because facts threaten identity. And when identity feels threatened, people become defensive. They stop listening. They stop thinking objectively. They start protecting themselves psychologically. This is why arguments rarely change people. You can present facts, statistics, logic, proof, and still watch someone reject everything. Not because they're incapable of understanding, because understanding creates dissonance, and dissonance hurts. The brain treats psychological discomfort almost like physical pain. It wants relief immediately. Truth can wait. Comfort comes first. Now let's make this personal. Because it's easy to spot cognitive dissonance in others, it's much harder to see it in ourselves. Ask yourself this: have you ever stayed in a situation longer than you should have? Have you ever defended someone who didn't deserve it? Have you ever ignored warning signs because admitting the truth would force you to change? Have you ever continued a habit you knew was damaging? If your answer is yes, congratulations, you're human. Every person experiences cognitive dissonance. The goal isn't to eliminate it. The goal is to recognize it. The moment you become aware of it, you gain power over it. Most people never reach that stage. They spend their entire lives unconsciously protecting their ego, and that's why they stay stuck. Growth requires a willingness to feel uncomfortable. Read that again. Growth requires a willingness to feel uncomfortable, because every major improvement in life begins with an uncomfortable truth. You chose the wrong partner. You trusted the wrong person. You made a bad decision. You wasted time. You believed something that wasn't true. None of these admissions feel good, but they create freedom. Denial feels better today. Truth creates a better tomorrow. And that's the trade-off most people never understand. Every time you reject reality to protect your ego, you're borrowing comfort from the future. Eventually, the bill arrives. The toxic relationship gets worse. The bad investment loses more money. The unhealthy habit damages your health. The ignored problem grows larger. Reality always collects its debt, sooner or later. The strongest people are not the ones who are always right. They're the ones willing to admit when they're wrong. Because admitting you're wrong doesn't weaken you. It strengthens you. It allows learning, adaptation, growth, evolution. The people who grow fastest are often the people least attached to being right. They care more about truth than pride, more about reality than appearances, more about progress than ego. And that's why they keep improving, while others stay trapped in the same cycles year after year. So the next time you feel yourself becoming defensive, stop. Ask yourself one question. Am I protecting the truth, or am I protecting my ego? That single question can change your life. Because cognitive dissonance thrives in unconscious minds. It loses power when exposed. The moment you become aware of the conflict, you can choose differently. You can choose truth over comfort, reality over illusion, growth over ego. And that choice separates people who evolve from people who remain trapped in the stories they tell themselves. The truth may hurt, but self-deception hurts far more. The people who win in life are not those who avoid discomfort. They are the ones brave enough to face it. And that's the real lesson behind cognitive dissonance. The battle isn't between you and reality. The battle is between your ego and the truth. And the side you choose determines the life you build.